How does business coaching differ than traditional coaching in the real estate space? And specifically, what does a business coaching session look like with Real Estate B School? You know, it's one thing to join a coaching program and sell more homes and focus on just doing more top line. It's an entirely different game to commit to building a business that is growing, yet you're not going to lose your life in the process. You're not going to work every evening and every weekend, right? You're going to have margin to show up in your family as a good husband or wife, as a loving parent, right? You have the bandwidth to be able to take care of your physical body and to be able to, have a spiritual journey and to walk in your faith, right? We don't want you to build a business that allows for more money but less freedom and less impact. At Real Estate B School, we are fanatical about helping you make more money and also helping you achieve more freedom. And that's freedom of time, freedom from stress. Then ultimately what it really matters and what it comes down to is more impact in your family and in your community. So stick around until the end of this video. I want to show you how to get access to a free training where I actually go through 5 steps to scale your real estate business to 1 million GCI and beyond. If you like the video, make sure you give me the thumbs up and also subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications and make sure you leave comments. Focusing more on building a business versus doing transactions, I think about one of our members who's been with us for 4 years, David Caggiano. He was a solo agent when we first started working together, kind of at the end of his rope in terms of, what was possible for his real estate business because he didn't make that shift to business coaching. And so he hadn't ever hired a coach before, yet he managed to figure out how to get busy. Knew he needed systems, knew he needed people, knew he needed leverage through marketing and technology, yet didn't know how to put those pieces together. And so this is a simple framework that we use with members like Dave. Fast forward to the success story. He'll do about 50 million this year. He works reasonable hours. He's going to the lake every weekend in the summer with his family, minimal evenings, and he's built a business where he gets to do what he loves in the business, and he can do it in a reasonable amount of hours and not be stressed out all the time. So that's the punchline. How we get there, it's the difference in our coaching conversations. A typical business coaching conversation, we look to bridge the gap in an area in your business or your life where we really spend time thinking about where you are right now in your lead generation. So your ability to list properties. What leads are you generating right now? Let's be honest. Let's look at the data. Let's look at where you're spending your time. And so that's a where are you now? That's always number one. If you want to do anything in any area of your business or your life, an honest look at where are you now. A fact-based look on where are you now. That's number one. Number two, we look at, all right, where do we want to go in this area of our business or this challenge that we're having right now? What's the ideal outcome that we want? Let's paint a picture of what that looks like. It could be a 3-year vision, a 1-year planning process that we're working on. It could be we're in 90 days, or it could be like, hey, in the next 30 days, I want this to happen, right? But what does it look like? Let's get clear on what it looks like. That's number two. And number three is how do we get from where we are right now to where we want to be in the future? And what specific steps, what specific tools and systems can we employ to go from the reality of where we are? Let's say our database isn't working properly. So let's look at how many people in the database, how often are we touching them, how many referrals have come in? Do you have a system, a touch system, a way that clients can send referrals? Do you track any of it, right? Be honest about where that is right now. Let's talk about what it could look like 12 months from now. All right, let's take the database from 250 to 1,000 in a year. Let's make sure we have a touch program in place. Make sure we're tracking via how referrals come into our business, exactly how they come in. Let's make sure we have high impact materials going out. Our social media presence is where it needs to be, right? Let's paint the picture of what it needs to look like, and then let's bridge the gap. What's held us back in the past? Is it your inability to carve out the time to do these things? Let's get some leverage. Let's get some administrative support or a virtual assistant. We've got amazing virtual assistants in our world that do high-level tasks all day long, right? Stop making excuses about what's holding you back, and let's come up with a solution. That's an actual dialogue we would have with a client. Like, you keep making excuses about how you can't get from here to there. This is what we're gonna do. Yeah, we help you self-discover. At the same time, our coaches have been there. I have been along this journey, right? This is not a guesswork for us. This is not just, hey, let's try this, or hey, you need to hire an administrator, go do that, right? If that's the course that we need to take and we decide that that's the gap we need to bridge, specifically, we're gonna point you to a spot where you can grab an ad to run, a job profile to look, a onboarding process for an administrator. Same thing with agents you bring on your team, right? We have a process built out to train your new agents to be successful in making money as quickly as possible. And then we have the ongoing cadence and structure to employ with your agents so they can be successful, right? There's not this guesswork. It's the biggest difference between traditional coaching and business coaching, and more specifically, Real Estate B-School. So I mentioned that I put together a training that goes through the 5 steps that you'll need to take to go from wherever you are today to becoming a $1 million real estate team. Just go to Real Estate Business Freedom, yes, realestatebusinessfreedom.com, or click on the link below. If you like the video, make sure you give us the thumbs up. Make sure you comment on these videos and subscribe and turn your notifications on. You know, this journey from struggling agent to business owner, it's a different approach, right? It's not necessarily that it's hard. It's actually quite simple. It just requires a focus and a level of effort in different areas than just straight up traditional coaching, which is mostly productivity coaching. So we'll see you on the next video.